The devs respond to everyone hating Season 3. How bad do you think this is gonna be?
Blizzard just rushed out an emergency response to Season 3. If you've been following the videos I've been doing covering Season 3, you're going to know I tried to start somewhat positive, saying the things I like about it. And at the end of it, you could see sort of the reality sink in as I realized I'm extremely bored playing Season 3 and decided I'm no longer going to be streaming this season until Season 4.
Dude, even Season 1 was actually unironically better than Season 3. That is so crazy.
I did see that they rushed out an emergency patch related to this, so I got curious and I started digging to see what the response was. To my interest, it actually seemed like the response had been overwhelmingly well received in the same subreddit that was flaming it just recently. So I got curious and I thought,
I actually saw people comment something about this yesterday on my videos, and people think it's bots. I got a lot of people who are saying that they think this is fake accounts and bot accounts by Blizzard that are responding to this positively. Because what can they do about Season 3 to make it a success now? What kind of magical changes can they implement to save it? I don't think there is anything.
let's look into the patch and let's actually see exactly what was going on, because I myself have been fairly critical about the season. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to be redeemable, and I'm still not sure, in my opinion, that it is, at least for me personally, in terms of me wanting to log in and play. But it does seem like a lot of people that have had the opinion that it was unenjoyable are now saying it is enjoyable. So let's look into it and see exactly what is going on with the roller coaster that has been Diablo 4 Season 3. I took a peek in here onto the subreddit, and if I pull this up for you, if you guys remember, we're talking about how flaming the subreddit is, and it's Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. But myself, I literally just made a video talking about, like, I can't play this, it's exceptionally boring, so I was going to stream Power Worlds that day. I'm still going to stream Power World, by the way. But there was me moving on. Other people are kind of feeling in the same boat here. And so they put out an emergency patch. Now, I can see this from the subreddit. I got curious. I'm thinking, what do people actually think about this? And as you go through, take back everything I said. This guy's positive about it. I started scrolling through. I'm having fun again. And a lot of these people that were making complaints before, my vaults are better than Nightmare Dungeons. Kind of scroll through here, hot take, but the vaults feel more fun than Nightmare Dungeons after the patch. We're starting to see a lot of positive response. So what I did was I went.
What did they do? I don't think this is true. I don't think this can be true, because Blizzard looked at Starfield and said, "Wow, you know how everyone's complaining that it feels like it's all the same location constantly? Yeah, let's make 2 vault layouts." Or 3 or 4 or however many. It's like 3 or 4 vault layouts. And then, what kind of brainlet you need to be to go into the same place over and over and over and over and over and over again, which is supposed to be RNG and unique and blah blah blah, and not think it's bad? Like, how much damage do you need to incur?
And I looked at these patch notes, and I thought I would kind of break down exactly for you what they're doing in order to attempt to save the season. So we have the Echo of the Malphus. All right. Now, the Echo of the Malphus, what they ended up doing was they added this new item, the Igneous Cores here. Igneous Cores, I guess, is actually probably the way to say that, which instead of the vaults, one of my complaints was that, look, you just run to the end in the vault. It's unexciting content. I'm bored actually doing it because you just run through, you ignore putting the warding on at all, because the pros are actually needed in order to open up the Echo of Malphus. So I don't really engage with the actual mechanic of the seasonal mechanic, and that makes it for me dead content. But they actually ended up doing this here is they changed it where the pearls are no longer needed for the Echo. So if you're going to be doing the Echo, you actually run the vault now in order to get the cores that would then allow you to do the Echo. The Echo itself has actually been buffed, so it is more of in-game content now, level 100, and they increase the health of it instead of early mid-game content to give you an idea.
Okay.
These cores also have a chance to drop from the Vault Heralds and are guaranteed drop from Son of Malphus in World Tier 4. He does show up in the overworld, so you could actually get some of these without running vaults technically if you really wanted to. They drop from the Heralds as well. So they're trying.
Okay. So the Are Diablo players just so stupid, or what's the deal here? So they don't fix any of the problems the vaults have. They don't fix any of those complaints. Wait. So did everyone leave, and now only the people who are super into Diablo are left, and now they're giving feedback once again? Are the 1%ers that are arguably mentally handicapped are now giving their takes on what should and should not be in Diablo? Because, dude, almost everyone left on day 2. It was so bad that almost everyone left. And all of the problems that everyone said at day 2, I don't currently see anything of it addressed at all. Most people quit on level 40 at this point. No one cares about the end game boss. No one cares about farming for the end game boss, considering most people are not even getting to level 40 or 50. So, what is this? Why are people happy about this? Is it because there's only the idiots left?
Trying to basically make more loot pinatas. One of the things that people were complaining about was that the son of Malphus is basically a super annoying guy with tons of health with not really any rewards around it. So they are attempting to address that portion of feedback. There's a loot update as well.
No one complained about that because no one cared about it.
That Malphus now doubles the percentage that he was dropping for the unique stones before, and unique stones now have a 3% chance of dropping from the chest after the boss as well. Defeating the Echo of Malphus will also reward more legendary items and more items related to 925 to fit the fact that they moved him to 100. So this is actually addressing of a lot of the complaints that we were actually seeing prior. But let's continue to look and actually see what is going on. The Senecio here, they've received feedback. This basically states that the Senecio becomes more powerful as it reaches max levels, but we've noticed players have not had a chance to level up their Senecios enough to experiencing this. We are introducing multiple changes to ensure players have more sources to earn governing and tuning stones that they can level up. Basically, they're saying people are quitting the season before they actually get to the part that makes this pet strong, and they're attempting to change.
I don't believe that the pet gets strong in the first place. Increasing the experience rate is also just a band-aid on the fact that people want the pets and seasonal mechanics to be account-wide, not just tied to one character. Again, this is not even a fix. The pet being weak is not the problem. The pet being a pet is the problem. No one likes the idea that the pet even is a pet. Again, they're not fixing problems. I think everyone has literally left, and now Blizzard is just listening to the feedback of the 1% that is still there after day 2, and it's getting worse.
Change that. This was actually one of the points I said before, which is that, look, even if the pet is quite good at the end of it, which I don't think it really was, from what I can see, Rob is a great example of this. He's level 100, still didn't seem very good. But even if the pet is good, let's just say it was.
No. I saw that video, okay? The pet's not good. The pet's absolute garbage.
The end of it, by the time you hit level 100 and have done basically everything and leveled up all the way in the Nightmare Dungeons over and over, and Paragon Glyphs are done because you've been doing so many vaults in order to get the Tombstones to level it, the pet itself is no longer needed because you've completed basically that season already. So it's a capstone of completion of the season when you could have actually used that power along the way. So they're sort of taking that sort of feedback and introducing more updates to make the pet stronger earlier, and this is how they are doing that. So crafting a governing or tuning stone will always cost 200 shatter stones and 20 iron chunks regardless of level. Finding a max...
I think this is the same deal with sigils, that most people don't even remember that you can actually craft them.
Level will also grant 150 to 200. So if you level up another one and then you get that one dropped again, you immediately convert it to Shatterstone, so you can use that to build something else. Governing and...
Why? Why? That sounds so fucking stupid. Like, you see, this is the problem with Blizzard, okay? You have a max, whatever, a pet upgrade thingamajiggy, and it still drops. Blizzard can't even make it so it doesn't drop, it just gets converted into Shardstone? Bro, that is so stupid. Like, what? Why? The clear solution is here: get max level and X skill for your companion. Just have the item no longer drop. That is the easy solution here. But no, Blizzard, as always, is like a loop, doing loop-de-loops and carvely flips and God knows what along the way. Just make it so it doesn't drop at max level, instead of converting it to shattered stones for no reason. You see, this is the problem with Blizzard. Incompetency at its greatest level.
Tuning stones can now be acquired as a reward for completing whispers. This is a big one because let's say I, for instance, don't want to engage with the seasonal mechanics, which I don't. And by the way, if you're curious, oh, does this suddenly make me come back and play the game? No, I'm actually still not going to stream the game currently in its iteration, just because the seasonal mechanics are the part that I'm bored from. These rewards are good because it actually will make a reason to do the mechanics, but I'm not terribly interested in the traps, at least for the instance, so I'm still going to be streaming other things. However, if you look at this, they did actually change the way the governing and tuning stones can be acquired for completing it from whispers. So now I can basically just do whispers, ignore some of the mechanic if I want in order to actually get the stones, for instance, and just ignore the rest of it unless I wanted to do like the Echo of Malphas. The Son of Malphas now always drops 2 to 3 governing and tuning stones. The stones awarded from the stone caches have increased from 1 to 2 stones. So we're just seeing buffs across the board. They're basically trying to flood some dopamine in there. And
no, they're not trying to flood some dopamine. I mean, this is stupid. You know why this is stupid? Because the average player now is just gonna max out their stuff, and they're not even gonna know that they had maxed it out. So this is what Blizzard does. From one absolute level of insanity, they just move on to the next level of insanity. Again, I already called it. I already predicted this will happen with the pet. The pet is either going to be overpowered or underpowered when this season comes out, and then Blizzard is going to exactly opposite it. If it was overpowered, now it's going to be underpowered, but since it was underpowered, now it's going to be OP. This is what is going to happen. Okay? And again, from there being not enough materials dropping for you to care to upgrade your pet, now they're just increasing their VODs to such an unimaginable rate that you don't even care about this. You're gonna max out the pet and not even know about it. That's how it's gonna work. It's gonna be the same thing as in previous seasons when they buffed the amount of materials you got from the Hell Tide. Previously it was hard, and then they buffed it up so dramatically high that this material was no longer even useful. Everyone had a surplus of it forever because it dropped so much. This is what Blizzard do. They go from one crazy corner to the other crazy opposite corner.
In order to save the season, experience requirements have been reduced so they can be ranked up more naturally with your leveling experience. AKA, let's not make people run thousands of vaults in order to level up your stones. Vaults and arcane trimmers. So the vaults are a part which now people are seeming to see as a positive. The arcane trimmers were the parts I already liked, and I was more not so interested in the vaults.
Yeah, the arcane trimmers were better than the blood tides.
If we continue here, multiple quality of life changes to players' experience in the vaults and trimmers. Consuming a pearl of warding at the statue of Zone Cool now grants 10 stacks of the warding instead of 3. The max stats of the warding have been increased from 300 to 999. Grace period for losing stacks of the warding when hit by multiple has been increased from 1 to 1.5 seconds. AKA, if you get hit multiple times with the darts, is what they're saying, you're going to only lose 1 stack instead of 3. This was another common complaint. Like, there's no immunity timing or anything. After you get hit, you can just drop stacks very quickly. Heralds of Malphas now drop a guaranteed legendary item starting at 26 with a 15% chance to drop another one. They're adding loot pinatas. I think basically what's going on is like, okay, people don't like the seasonal mechanic maybe so much, but if we put enough loot in there, they might enjoy the loot they get from the season.
Who cares about the loot? Again, but if we don't fix the base game, I said it once, I'll say it again. The base game needs to be fixed. World tiers need to be deleted out of the game because they're just bad. They're a horrible mechanic that doesn't do anything except annoy people and make content irrelevant. There are so many things in the base game that need to be fixed, but Blizzard's not doing any of it. They think that the base game is a wonderful masterpiece of pixie dust and fairy flowers. So they're not even touching it. The only thing that Blizzard thinks is wrong with this game is, what the season's at, the end game and whatnot. But no, that's not true. The base game is shit. Path of Exile could never receive a season for, the next 10 years and people would still play it because the base game at this point is good enough. Diablo 4 can't because the base game is absolute garbage.
No mechanic in order to make it more enjoyable. Knockback has been removed from Obelisk. This was highly annoying.
Yes.
Here in the overworld, you're just like constantly getting knockback while attempting to do these events. Chests will now also appear the chest will now appear after completing a Vault's Indian encounter. These chests will drop a guaranteed legendary item with a 35% chance to drop another legendary item. So again, more loot, more dopamine at the end of it. Projectile speed from elemental dart hazards been reduced by 20%. The hitbox for floor-based elemental grate and spike hazards have been reduced by 15%. The spout hitbox for elemental pillars has been reduced by roughly 15%. So some
Why can't we just remove all the traps?
Changes, basically, and quality of life.
I mean, again, you see what I mean? From one extreme to the other extreme. Traps were super annoying and no one liked them because they knocked you back and did this and this and this and this. And now what Blizzard is doing, they're essentially nerfing the traps so much that they might as well not exist in the first place. Which is kind of a win, but you get the point. From an extreme to an extreme. This is what Blizzard is, this is what Blizzard does. It's pathetic.
Life changes to things that have been highly annoying and putting people off the season, myself included. Some of these were reasons that I was annoyed. Obelisks would actually be one of these. After reading this, the rest is bug fixes here. Not going to go into the bug fixes. I normally don't. But if we go through here and you just want my hot take like, hey, DM, you just quit the season. So as somebody who just quit the season and is not interested in the seasonal mechanics, how do you feel about this? My feedback to that, if you're wondering, would basically be this, is that I'm not really a huge fan of the pet, and I'm not really a huge fan of the vaults. I liked the overall campaign and story. That was something I've already said. So as it stands...
The story was stupid. The story actually made no sense. Let me get into the story, how it roughly works. So there's this demon who doesn't have a form. He's just essentially an existence, an untouchable existence that cannot be contained. And he goes into these constructs to corrupt them. Okay, makes sense. Right on you, Chief. And then you go into these vaults and you find his main body. When you're in a corporeal form that cannot be touched and possess a body at free will, how does killing the body you kind of mainly possess actually get rid of you? I'm not sure. I mean, how does that even work? What does it do? Okay, so you killed his main guardian-looking form, right? The last boss fight, and then the sphere thing dropped into lava. How does that get rid of a demon that has no form, is incorporeal, and cannot be touched by anything, by your own words? How does dropping the sphere even damage the demon? It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense.
The seasonal mechanics are already, the cat is out of the bag. These are what these seasonal mechanics are for this. I'm not a big trap guy. I'm not interested in that. So while they added more dopamine to it, the seasonal mechanics are still sort of the same. I don't see myself logging back in its current iteration, even if people are now enjoying the season, as I didn't really like the seasonal mechanics.
Dude, people are not enjoying the season. Again, we are getting back to the most extreme of extreme, that Blizzard, like, a season's gonna come. People are gonna come back, and 99% of the people are gonna say, oh, season shit. Leave by day 2 or 3, and then, well, I thought... This is one of those situations like She-Hulk. Lord of the Rings of Power, the power of the stone is brewing in me, was so bad that people loved to shit on it, okay? Because it was just that entertainingly bad. She-Hulk, on the other hand, that was out there at the same time was so atrociously bad. People did not even want to listen to people actually talk bad things about it. And this is currently what season 3 seems like. That all the people have left, no one cares to talk anything bad about it, and now there's like the 1%ers left who are literally brain damaged monkeys, and now they're telling Blizzard, we need more pearls because pearls are fun. And no one agrees to that. No one thinks that is correct. But Blizzard has no one else to listen, so they might as well listen to the, brain rot that's left there. Because no one's coming back anyway. This is crazy. I logged into the game yesterday, by the way. And I went to do a world boss. Or it was Legion event or something. I think I did a world boss and a Legion event. Okay. Yeah, there's no one playing. Previously, the last season, that you go to a world boss, you go to do a Legion event, you see a bunch of people at the world boss, right? You see like there's plus 20 to 30% more experience in the Legion event because people are there. This time, I go to a Legion event and there's like, plus 5% more experience, plus 7% more experience, because no one's left playing. Like, the exodus of players is unironically just ginormous. It's unironically ginormous.
Mechanics, but to be fair, these are good changes, and these are pretty much all changes that are directly related to exactly what people were saying is a problem with the season. So we have some pretty positive feedback here. As I showed you on the Reddit, people seem to be like pretty positive about this season. Maybe redeemed, the vault rework feels good, etc. Just tried my first vault. Coincidentally, I think I tried my last vault. So not.
That's good. That's good.
Everyone, but this was before the patch.
Oh man.
So looks like there's some hope for season 3 yet.
I, by the way, will probably log in yet again at some point because I'm just gonna get bored. I currently have kind of just Marvel Snap that I'm playing on my off time. I don't have many games currently. Yeah, it's just Marvel Snap, honestly, at this point. So I'm probably gonna just get bored and want to see the changes for myself and play Diablo 4 for 30 minutes, roughly, probably. That's gonna probably happen. So, it is what it is. But yeah, looking forward to this because 10 out of 10. Anyway, that was Odd Boy dot microtransactions, also known as Skittles. Beautiful. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.